shards of ember found below the very bedrock are very powerful. The tablet shows how to refine the crystal shards into a force of magic. This natural magical energy shoots across my workshop now in a fancy light show. Totally harmless to me, yet it powers a host of new machines. The tablet also states a new type of metal alloy that can be created. I set up an ore doubling, alloy mixing and ingot stamping system using magic. The Dawnstone ingots shine with powers I've never seen before today. It feels natural but has a total lack of grey, and thus seems to be long forgotten in this world of cities. Now then, and welcome back to another episode of A Druid's Tale. Welcome back to exactly where we left off. Well, pretty much exactly where we left off. We're down here in the basement. Added another one of these Embers drill machines, and it's this one actually has been running for a little while. They've run out of coal and charcoal at the minute though, and because of the results so far, we've got like 113 of those big shards or crystals, and well, 114 now as we speak. 289 of the little ones, and I thought I'd just take a stack of each. Let's actually just take a stack of each. So we've got ember crystals and we've got ember shards, a stack of each to play around with for a little bit while we sort out some other things, right? I noticed that these blocks here, the arcanic, is arcanic even a word? I guess it is, arcanic, arcane without the N, archaic, okay, archaic edge, okay, yeah, there's archaic. Archaic's a real word, isn't it? Yeah, probably something like that. So archaic blocks, these archaic edge blocks are, well, a little bit harder to generate than the others. If we have a look at embers, we've got quite a few things still to play around with. I don't think that's the end of the mod for whatever reason. We've got these blocks that we need to be able to make to finish off the design down here, right? These things, archaic bricks. And the archaic bricks require an exchange table and some kind of exchange. I don't know what that is. We're going to find out. That's hopefully what we're going to do today's episode. An exchange table requires some Dawnstone plate and some kind of like bricks. So we can already do these bricks, but the Dawnstone is a thing that needs to be stamped out and molten even. Okay, so in a stamper, that needs some bricks, some copper, some iron. We can do that, right? But we can't necessarily make this molten unless we get a melter. And a melter can only melt down current stuff into its purity again. The mix, though, needs a mixer, which is copper and gold equals Dawnstone. So it's copper and gold making Dawnstone, right? And the mixer requires some iron plates, some copper, a mechanical core, and some iron ingots. And all that, no doubt, needs some power. So first up, before we do any more down here, I think I'm going to head up and out of here. I've left it so that I've got space down here to get in and out when I need to. And it's digging at bedrock. It doesn't mean that I have to do all of the processing and stuff at bedrock. So I'm going to end up bringing it all the way up here and do stuff in my basement, right? I might end up with an ender chest that transports those crystals up to here, and maybe I have a special chute for sending coal down there to fetch more ember crystals. I don't know how it's going to work out yet. But I do think that I need to start using some areas around underneath here. There's all this space out here, which was kind of for farming goods, but we don't really need it. There's some bits in here, space in here for auto farming stuff as well. And then there's all this workshop space out here for various machines and bits and pieces. So with this Embers shard stuff, we need to turn Embers shards into an energy source first, so that then we can use that energy on other machines. So if we go at Embers again here, or we go at Embers here then, you can see that we have a few bits and pieces from last episode, but nowhere near what we actually want, right? We're going to need to mix ember shards and crystals with water in some kind of refinery. Now, I believe that they're marked up in here. Machinations of fire, something like that. Copper cell, melter, mechanical access, okay. Mixer centrifuge, okay, there's the mixer, that's what we're actually going for. Getting all the metals. And it might just be in the natural energy. There we go. There's an extraction of Ember. The Ember Activator is an ingenious device finally allowing you to extract usable energy from Ember crystals and shards. Simply insert said crystals and shards into the bottom of the device using a hopper or other item transport method, and soon, marked by a fiery burst, activated Ember will appear within the copper cage atop the machine. Okay? And then there's the pressure refinery. While the activator can refine crystalline ember, it produces only a modest amount. The pressure refinery is a means of getting much higher yield per crystal. It requires both water and ember to be pumped into it, resulting in a default 1.5 times yield from the activator. However, if placed on a metal block with lava or fire around it, it can reach up to 3 times yields, depending on how hot the blocks were at the base. Well, I have it on good authority, i.e. Valen's video, that there are a few different tiers of blocks that you can place this device on. And one of them is simply copper. Very, very simply copper. So we should be able to just make a copper block. And that will make the thing. So we'll do a couple of copper blocks actually. So we got that, right? That's easy. That's going to be great. And some lava. I don't think I have any lava currently in the system. No, I'll have to go and fetch some lava. But we know where lava is, so we're okay with that. So I'm just going to make this refinery. So I believe it's going to be simple enough. But I don't know. I need a fluid bin in order to make water go into the refinery. Because we're going to need water into the refinery. I don't think I need a lot of that, so probably one will do for a couple of different things. And the refiner itself is on the second page, towards the bottom. It's this thing, pressure refinery. Requires a few copper, a copper block, a furnace, and some iron. Should also be easy enough. Okay, so we've now got a pressure fluid to put into there. We've got this to put into there. And we've got a copper block in the bottom underneath it to put some lava around it. That should be what we need to get started with making the energy. I'm also going to need some pipes. So we've got a little bit of pipe around here. We've got an item pipe or two. We've got a couple of levers. I believe that I need some of the other bits and pieces. So I'm probably going to need one of those mechanical cores and all that kind of stuff as well. And we could just start messing around with trying to get this to fit together properly. Oh, look at all the cool stuff I've got. Awesome. So yeah, I need one of these item extractors. Good, good. And a couple of pipes. That should be okay. I need a liquid pipe though, don't I? Item pipe, liquid pipe, fluid extractor pipe. There we go. Fluid extractor needs a couple of fluid pipes then. So fluid pipes are slightly different. Yeah, that'll do. Slightly different to the other pipes, but not by too much, right? We're going to have some fluid coming out of there into there, and that should be all the sort of things I need to get started on making it all, at least. But where to start? I'm just going to kind of build it out here, I guess, for now. I know I've got this dude over here wandering around, but he can stay put for now. I don't really care where I'm putting it. This is experimental stuff, so we'll experiment in this kind of area. Now, we know we've got to have to put some lava down below the block, or besides the block. So we'll work from this. Put the copper block down, because that's got the best heat signature, or heat conductance, should I say. Copper, silver, or gold down here. Gives the ×3 bonus with lava on all sides of it. And then we put the pressure refinery on the top. Oh, and it comes out with a multi-block structure. This pressure refinery thing comes out like this. That's pretty cool. And then I would put some glass around this to cover it up. But let's have a look inside the pressure refinery. We're going to have to pump some kind of materials into it. Well, that's actually another good thing, then, isn't it? Because we've got a fluid pipe that's going to pump fluid into it, like so. And we've got an item pipe that can pump items into it like so. So the item pipe then could go this way, and the fluid pipe could bring that out this way. And then we just have the extractors. So we've got a fluid extractor, which we could put on here with a lever on. And we're going to put an item extractor on here, which we're going to put the other lever on. Okay? And then we just need a fluid vessel, which will go over here. That's connecting to that. And we need to put some water in there. And then we need a chest over this side. Easy peasy. Do I have a chest? Yes, I do. Awesome. And do I have a bucket of water? No, I do not. So I'll have to go and sort that out. I'm sure I had buckets somewhere, though. I must have a bucket. No, I don't have a bucket. Okay, well, let's make a couple of buckets. All the water that I had around here, and I don't have a bucket available when I need one. Right, so there's that. We can put... well, we'll put the shards in as we need them first. We're going to make it work, and we'll figure it out from there. So let's get up and away, and get a couple of water from our infinite water source. I'm probably going to be able to do some more like automation of water down there, someplace close. But this will do for now. In fact, let's just, while we're here, let's just set this up with a couple of blocks of water. We've got an infinite source in case it takes a lot. There's one bucket of water got inside it. Okay. And the tank looks like it's pretty empty still. So we should be okay with that. Let's just actually get a fluid gauge on here, because there's such a thing as a fluid gauge. Fluid gauge maybe that. Fluid dial. Okay, it's a fluid dial in this. Okay, so make a compass and then stick a piece of paper on it, and it becomes a fluid dial. Awesome. And then that should tell us exactly how much is in the thing. Just place it on. Yeah, that's it. And it's 1 bucket out of 16 buckets worth. So we can actually put 16 buckets worth in there. Okay, but I want to see how much we actually need to process out here. So I'm going to get 4 buckets of lava and get that fitted in. Okay, one more thing then. We've got this amber dial. This amber dial should tell me how much amber energy or something like that. How much amber is actually being produced by this thing. So let's put that on there. Currently 0, right? Let's add the water. We've got 1,000 water in there at the minute. That currently pumps that straight across, and this ends up with some in the tank. I've got lava in my buckets right now, so that's put 1,000 water in there directly. And now we can put, let's put one of the little shards in there. Okay, put a little shard in there, turn that on, and now, whoa! It's ignited, and it's caused some fire. It doesn't burn me, which is good to know. It doesn't burn me, and it is creating amber, or is it? It's not showing me how much it's made. It's just kind of burning. Okay, so it doesn't look like it's doing anything right now. Maybe there's something to do with this not showing up properly. Okay, well, I don't know. Let's see. Let's put another one in. So that was one of those little crystals. Boom! It's burnt another one up. Has it got water in? It's still got plenty of water in. Okay, so it's not doing anything like that. Let's see if it needs the lava to actually function. Let's put some lava in all of these blocks around it. Because it did tell me that I should. So maybe I should. Right? Block that off there. And down there. Okay. So now it's surrounded. Is it now doing anything? No. Still not showing anything in there. Okay, let's put another one in. It's burning. It's making stuff happen. But where is the gauge picking it up from? Maybe it's below. Maybe I've got to take this off here. And put that down below. And then put this on above it. So we have that on there instead. Aha! There we go. That makes a little bit more sense. So this is now got 2,400. And how many have we put in? We've put 3 in so far. So another one. 3,600. So 1,200 per shard when it's surrounded. And that sounds about right, because I believe it was like 400 or so without the ×3 bonus of having the lava down there. Okay, so we've got some of that. What about these amber crystals? What were we on again? We were on 3,600. One amber crystal sends us up to 10,800. Wow, that's quite a sizable amount of this stuff in the pressure refinery. And it doesn't look like it's got much water missing either. The water just seems to be sitting there still. Almost like it's a contained setup. So we might not need water ever again. But I've got some water in there anyway. I've pumped it in. I wonder, could I just have put water directly into it? Yes, I could. So I can just put water directly in like that. Oh, and I can take it out again. So there's only so much we can put in without taking it back out again. Okay, so we've got a full bucket there. Let's push that in there. Yeah, and then it takes the water out. Okay. We've got a fair amount of water. And problems with the water here. Okay. That confused me for a second. I think an update happened or something happened very, very quickly there. Okay, it takes a lot of buckets as well. So we can fill this up fairly swiftly, but it takes a lot of buckets to fill it up. And I don't think we need to worry about it. So let's turn that off now. This can have all of that liquid in it. Yeah. Nearly. Does that mean the pipe's emptied? Are the extractor pipes emptied, leaving that one down? So we must have used 1 part, 1,000th of a bucket. 1,000th of a bucket to operate this so far. Because, well, that's full, isn't it? So we turn it on, it fills up. That does fill up there. Then these pipes empty out of water fairly swiftly. Back into the tank, it seems. And then we're left with 1,999. So I'm guessing it only uses 1,000th of a bucket of water to actually function with what we've got so far. And it's pretty cool looking. So there's like 10,000. We can just throw another couple of these shards in, and we're pretty much maxing this thing out. Filling it full and maxing it out. And that's making some kind of energy. Now, how does that energy transfer around? Well, I don't know, but I've been told. This then is the bit we've done here. We've done now the creating of it all and all that kind of stuff. We've done all of this fluid vessel. We've done the dials now. We've done the bits and pieces of that. The next thing is to actually use it for something, and the thing that I wanted to use it for was the melter and mixer. So the mixer. While you've been using various metals to control the flow of ember before, through the mixer centrifuge, you believe you may be able to create new alloys. Each face at the bottom of the centrifuge is its own tank. When fluid is pumped into these tanks in a partial combination, the top block of the centrifuge is given amber. The molten alloy will be created, which can be pumped out of the top. Okay, so we've got things that go out and about. Dawnstone is a strong ally of gold and copper, alloy of gold and copper, which is in equal parts, created using a mixer centrifuge. With amber imbued into its very nature, its creation, you will believe this alloy will allow you to create material structure for more advanced machines. So that's where we're at. That's what we've got to do, right? We're going to have to build a mixer, but we're going to need a melter first in order to melt down the items in order to put it there. And we're going to need ember transference as well to send ember from this one thing we've got. The actual manipulation of the ember you receive from your activator or other refineries involves two main blocks: ember emitters and ember receptors. Simply place an emitter on an ember container, place a receptor down on another ember container. Shift right click the receptor with your tinker's hammer and right click the emitter with the hammer. Power the emitter with redstone and ember burst should begin to flow. Okay, and then we can use this to melt things down. Okay, well, let's see what we've got stock-wise about what we can actually build, because we need to do some crafting. So, what have we got first? We're going to need one of these melters, And that seems to be okay. Simple enough. We'll have a melter. That should melt down the materials. And then we're going to need an emitter, which we get 4 for a couple of copper and a camite pat. That's okay. That's good. I'm going to need the hammer, so I'll take the hammer. We're also going to need a receptor. This is looking like a receptor, and we get 4 of those as well. So we get 4 receivers, 4 emitters, 4 receptors, and we're also going to need some more levers for that. But then we're going to need to have the mixer, which I believe is that. That was the melter. This is the mixer. Is there another mixer? It doesn't look like there is a mixer. So let's see if we can do this. So we needed 1 more iron plate for the mixer. That's all we need. That's okay. We can do that. Let's have 1 more iron plate. But while we're at it, let's do a few more iron plates, because you know it's always going to use it up. And then a mixer can be done now like that. Okay. So we should be able to put melt goods into the mixer and that. But I'm going to need another liquid. I'm going to need some more liquid pipes, aren't I? So the fluid pipe needs to be a fluid extractor. And then a few more levers, which is easy enough done. Okay, so according to all of this, the mixer is the important thing as this part. And we should put that down here. Wow, that looks pretty cool. So the mixer's got 2 high bits, okay, and entry points all around it, it seems. I think it's supposed to have entry at the bottom, wasn't it? But I reckon we can get on with that a little bit better. Let's put a fluid extractor from a melter. So we put a melter there. Oh, melter looks cool as well. Awesome. And we'll put a fluid extractor there. That should extract fluids into there. Maybe I need to put a pipe a little bit further away from that one. Let's just put it a little bit further away so that we can have a fluid extractor there, in extracting all that into there. So now I've got to, I guess there's a way of putting items into it and putting power into it. So let's see if we can get this ember emitter, ember receiver on the go. So we've put a receiver on the side there, and we put an emitter on the top of this here. Okay, and then we shift right click that, and that sets it, and then we right click that, or we shift right click that and right click that. That did something. Doesn't seem to be emitting anything and receiving anything. Let's reread that. Okay, the thing I missed was putting power on the emitter. So we've got to kind of like put some power into the emitter so that it will emit. Oh man, look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Look at that. That's cool. So now it's emitting it's emitting the ember into this device. And now this device has it's a melter. And I'm guessing I'm going to have to put an item pipe to pump items into the melter. And then we can do a fluid pipe to pump fluid out of the melter into the mixer. Okay, let's have a look. Items. Okay, so experiment number 1. We have a melter. And I know it had some ember power because we saw it transferring across. We now got items going in here. We're going to have 1 copper and 1 gold, because it's supposed to be equal parts. And we're going to turn it on. I'm going to see what happens here. So nothing goes in, nothing happens. Does that? They shifted, they moved, they've gone into there, and then what? I can't see anything happening in the mixer. Oh, there's an item in the mixer. Maybe it needs turning on. Maybe that's the simplest thing. It needs a turn on. It's there, but is it turning on? Oh, I can see inside it. Okay, the tank's currently empty of whatever it's supposed to need. It needs some energy to turn it on, surely. And it had some of that, Embers energy. And they're supposed to pump out the stuff to it afterwards. So it's got the item in there. The melter's in there, but it must need something else to melt it. Alright, we're getting there, we're getting there. Now I'm making a stamp, which is going to stamp the bars, right? I think, here we go, 1 raw stamp. Okay, maybe I need to do a slight bit more preparation before we do this. Let's do a raw stamp like that, right? That stamp's for bars, and then I guess I'm going to have to cook that in a furnace in order to do something with that. Let's do that quickly up here. The furnace is around here somewhere. No, I don't have a furnace anywhere. Okay, can I cook it in here? Can I just cook it in this? Can I cook this raw stamp in there? No, I can't. Dang it. Okay, all the way down to the base then. I was hoping to make this a quick finish up for today's episode, but it doesn't look like it wants to. I've got to the point now where I'm basically pumping the liquid around, but I need to pump the liquid into the final piece in order to make that last little bit of the puzzle work. So that's going to go out there, and gimme. Thank you. And then get out of there. So, a stamper is a bit of an interesting one. It feels a bit odd that we're coming full circle with this, and it's not all kind of built into one thing. There's a stamper base, which we've got to kind of place down somewhere like this in the world, right? That's there. And then we're going to be fluid extracting, so we need a fluid pipe onto that, and put some lever on there, like that. Okay, so the lever's then going to pump the liquid out of there into here. It's really weird that it's not doing things like I can't make a multi-block structure out of it. It looks like it could. Maybe I should try that later, right? But we're going from that to that, and then we're supposed to have like there's a gap in between, and then we put the stamper on top of that, right? So the stamper goes on top of that, and then somewhere in here we're going to have a receptor to receive the power, and we're going to shift right click that and tell this to emit to it. So that's now going to shoot over to there. It's already been shooting power over to here, and then it kind of sits in the mixer, and then maybe it goes out this way. The mixer's not currently showing anything in the tanks, right? But I know that I've put 2 blocks in here. Let's put another 2 blocks. Well, let's put another 2 ingots in. A gold in that. That gets put across. It gets put in here. It smelts up, look. Using the power of Ember. It smelts it. Turns it into some kind of liquid gold. Right? Now it's got the copper in there. It's turning the copper into liquid copper. That is being moved out this way. But it's disappearing at such a rate. See, it's moving through at such a rate. So it's definitely going into the mixer, but the mixer is then not showing me what's in it. It is a work in progress, so I don't know. But it was 1 for 1, and the mixer recipe for Dawnstone... Dawnstone? The mixer recipe for Dawnstone was copper and gold. So we put copper and gold in. We should have... Every 4 parts copper, 4 parts gold equals 8 parts Dawnstone. So I should have quite a lot of Dawnstone in here at the minute. If I turn this on, does the Dawnstone fill up? I can't see anything moving, can I? So I may be losing everything in here, and that's not exactly what I'm after. Or does it come out the top, and that's just not extracting properly? And then this is supposed to like pump into that if we put the stick in it, in the cast in it. We put the cast in, which was a stamp. Yeah. Supposed to be able to put the stamp underneath it, like this. Is it right click onto the bottom? Yeah. And then it kind of works. It goes down there, and it'll stomp this. But the tank's not showing anything in it. It's not moved anything across, and it's not doing anything in the mixer. Maybe the mixer needs some power as well, so we'll try that. It's all a work in progress. Let's put one of these on here, right? Let's make the mixer have power from here as well. There we go. It's going to that one as well, so it is powering it. This is good. And it is pulling stuff out from the lever. But I don't see anything actually happening in here. So the materials have gone in. Let's waste a little bit more metal. Let's put 4 copper, 6 gold in there. That's going to melt down. It's going to move the liquid across here. It's going to move the liquid. As soon as it's got liquid, it goes in. Yeah, molten copper's going through there. And it should then go into the mixer. The mixer should then have liquid in it, but it's not showing up anything. And then we turn the power on and send it over to here, so then the Dawn steel should be coming in here. And it's not showing anything in there either. Okay, let's try this some more. Okay, this now looks like a working setup. So, the chest puts the items into the melter receives power at the bottom, pumps out at the top. Pumps into the bottom, receives ember at the top, and pumps out at the top. Receives ember at the bottom, receives ember at the top, receives the items at the bottom. Okay, so now this is showing molten Dawnstone once I've swapped it round. Once I've got the ember receptor at the top, then the input is at the bottom. Simple enough, right? And then I pump it out into here. That now looks like, now it looks like it's been filled up with Dawnstone metal. And then this is receiving power and just kind of automates itself. It's not actually doing anything other than automating itself, is it? I've not turned it on in any way. And I'm just receiving Dawnstone, which is awesome. Epic. So we're now processing Dawnstone, and we've got a few other processors that we can now see for doing other things as well, potentially. It is basic ore doubling, and the alloys, you get quite a lot of this Dawnstone alloy for your money as well. I should end up with quite a bit. And I've got plenty of gold and copper to do plenty more as well. So next episode we should be moving on to something else. Thank you all very much for watching today's episode of A Druid's Tale. I will see you very soon for some more. Goodbye.